Okay. So yeah, I actually am feeling pretty much better today. I was off anyway. It's good because I'm still not quite 100%, but I'm pretty close. I definitely should be fine at work tomorrow, but because of the sick days, I've got like a lot of days in a row working, so I want to get a bunch of videos in when I can. Luckily, if it comes to getting out videos, the Legend of the Ghost Lion seems to actually lend itself really well to very short episodes. Like, I pumped out 3 episodes in under an hour. Well, anyway. Oops, I didn't know we could do that. Ooh, did not expect this.
Well, it's been quite some time. Do not be Now then, do you believe you'll be the precise destination of this vehicle? That too is getting rather hard to. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, it was we are experiencing
failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right, together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well, those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast, some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
I look. Yeah, me. Rise and the others were meeting pretty.
Yeah, we gotta go straight to TV land here.
It's no use.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. I wish I could do better.
That Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay. I guess that he plays dumb a lot, but he's a...
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but it won't be long before Namatame is. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly... Of all the victims, only 2 were killed. Miss Yamano the announcer and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering.
Right. Either he...
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet. Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the
Could he mean... He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What do you think, Sam?
There's something
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him.
There's something I've been wondering. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too." So, wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just...
The possibility that...
But he's still the one who threw it. Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but... Or what? You think someone else...
I don't know. I mean, the diary was what... The warning letter. Something seems...
Warning letter?
If Namatame's the...
Let's Yes,
Isn't that... Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, "Don't rescue or kill"?
Yeah, and the "will be put in and killed" part doesn't... If the killer was writing it...
Hey, could this mean... It's... But only the killer would write... If...
Dear, since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one.
So Namatame really was trying to save his victim?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first 2 cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV. And yet he did. It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
It wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We urge...
How, though?
But there's no...
Hey,
I'd like...
this is your name of... Huh? I can give you a... Not that I expect you'll get it...
I'd like... He has no identification.
Huh? Well, we have our hands full with the transport procedures.
If something happened...
There's something about us...
You should back... A disturbance. I knew they were undermanned. What? There's nothing much inside. So
All right.
Namatame-san. It's tempting to think that you, and to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are, but we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our question.
Huh? No, that's...
Then tell me if, after discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight... His body is weak.
Yeah.
There's another.
Indulge us in a...
I never thought... Did they find him?
Please calm down. In fact...
We did blame, but now I think we can...
Please tell it.
You're willing to listen? Do my story? Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal, and I started drinking heavily to drown my anxiety. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are... She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection. And all of the Mayumi... When I reached... My arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the... I was so scared. In the end, the next afternoon when I got to work, that wasn't what... It was not just that. I was dumbstruck. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's question. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found and if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. Then,
It became
How did you find...
after I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits and gave me a job with the family business. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over, but that same she looked as if she was. That's why I warned her. The next day, I knew she was going to be. I blamed myself. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was, but she was murdered. And the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with she. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you. I can't let her. My opponent was a murderer who left no clue. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. The girl and I apparently had the power to go through the TV. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her? What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better once things... Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my... But if I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or...
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
I mean, that does going up. Remember, we were saying that we were absolutely certain that Nanako had already appeared.
Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me. I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else, but...
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really...
When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself. The police were after me, but I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor... But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place. I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was. I never knew. You couldn't even get out of that place on your own.
No, I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you.
Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at Junette?
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty.
At the concert.
But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself. I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You really were trying to save people.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society.
If only the people in politics wanted to be useful to society.
But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left, I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero.
Again, like Kubo.
I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect him to play. I suppose so. I have no intentions of running away from my crime. Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives...
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on...
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their...
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who...
It's all... It was another...
And this social link has already reached rank 3 without a single opportunity to do, to make any real choices.
Nanako-chan looks... This was the last place...
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's...
But it's been over 6...
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening.
I hope we can...